Whether it's helping to stuff some 25,000 backpacks with school supplies or lending a hand to give out uniforms, volunteers are a vital part of helping to make sure that the HISD City of Houston Back to School Fest runs as smoothly as possible. This year's event is scheduled for Saturday, August 11th from 8 a.m. until noon at Reliance Center, and we still need volunteers to help make the fest even bigger and better than before. Joining me today to talk more about how you can become involved is HISD's VIPS Program Administrator Tina Thompson, along with two Back to School Fest veteran volunteers. Please welcome Courtland Patterson, who is a Lamar High School graduate, and Kim Viverette, who is with Target. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us, Colleen.
Well, let's talk with you first, Tina. Let's talk about the volunteer component to Back to School Fest. How many folks volunteered last year? What are you looking for this year? And how do people sign up?
Certainly. Well, as you know, as an event as big as the Back to School Fest, we need volunteers. And we couldn't do it without volunteers. Last year we had over 500, actually over 700, to sign up. And this year we're looking for even more. For a volunteer who is interested in volunteering, you go online to register. And the website for that is the www.hisdbacktoschoolfest.org. You have to be 16 years or older to volunteer, and there's lots of things to do. We need greeters and people who are there to help with the crowd control and just many things available.
Right. And you also need volunteers prior to the Back to School Fest for some pre-stuffing, correct?
Thank you for mentioning that, Colleen. Yes, we do. We have lots of people who have donated items, and we do need backpacks stuffed. And that takes a lot of volunteers. So we do need people to help set up and to help stuff backpacks.
Okay,
yes.
Wonderful. And I know that you're working with the City of Houston's volunteer counterpart. Talk about that.
Exactly. Cameron Walterman is also part of this initiative to recruit volunteers. So they will have volunteers on their end, and HISD will also incorporate our volunteers as well.
Okay, and I understand there will be some training, so we don't just throw people out there.
Oh yes, oh yes. Actually, the training date, the deadline. Let me stop there. The deadline to register is Friday, July 20th, and the training date is Thursday, July 31st, in the Hattie Mae White Building, and it starts at 6 p.m.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Well, Courtland, you are alum of HISD Lamar.
Yes.
When did you graduate, first of all?
I graduated June 2nd
of
this year, so
right.
I am recently graduated. I was a treasurer for our National Honor Society at Lamar, which is one of the largest chapters in the nation, and we have a lot of volunteers who are fellow students looking to volunteer. And we got into the Back to School Fest when we were approached by Ms. Thompson, the VIPS coordinator, who knew about Lamar and knew about our Honor Society and the willingness of our students to participate in volunteer events. And so we coordinated around 100 volunteers from Lamar
All
during the
students?
summer. Yes, ma'am. All students. We helped with the Back to School Fest stuffing of backpacks with all of the donated goods. We were joined by, I think, a Boy Scout troop as well. Okay. So there were a good many of us forming an assembly line.
And that was out at the warehouse, correct?
Yes, in the warehouse. Bands.
We won't say how hot it was.
Oh,
but
oh no, of course. We're freshmen.
It was fun.
It was fun.
And it was for a good cause.
It was for a great cause.
Yeah.
It was great meeting everyone and being able to work with the students. And so once we packed the backpacks, we kind of packaged them up and got ready for the event. And my group was stationed in the kids zone. So there was a zone for kids to get immunizations, other fun things, the Houston Library. There were a lot of different booths sponsored that were geared towards kids, and so that's where all of our students were. And it was great, as a student of HIC, it was great to help other students and get ready for, get them ready for school, and so it was nice seeing that they got what they needed.
Well, that's wonderful. Let's talk about Target, and I see you're wearing the signature red today. Talk about Target's involvement. I know that you guys are used to doing, you know, mobilizing volunteers for events like this and the logistics and all that good stuff. So let's talk about it.
Right. So volunteerism and community engagement is at the core of Target's value system. Our team members are dedicated to giving back to the communities in which they serve in. And so we look at volunteerism and volunteering for different community events as a huge part of who we are at Target.
Wonderful. And last year, do you know roughly how many folks you had out there?
Last year we
representing?
had about 60 volunteers to attend. It equated to about 240 volunteer hours for us. We're looking for just about the same size of group this year, if not larger.
Okay, wonderful. And how do you go about recruiting your employees to get involved? Is there...
So what we do is Target, like I said, it's the core value of how we operate at Target, and our team is excited because a lot of the volunteering that we do is actually in the communities where they live and where they serve, and so the team is excited about giving back because they're giving back to their own communities.
Sure.
So that's how we get our team excited to participate.
And what was some of the feedback you got from your employees that did participate last year? I'm sure they shared their experiences with their
Our Target
coworkers.
team had a blast. They enjoyed it so much. It was so fun seeing so many familiar faces and families of the stores that come and visit our stores in our community. This year we're excited to be a sponsor as well as provide more volunteers this year. This will be our second year participating in the program. We're looking forward to our second year participating as well as our continuing partnership with the Houston Independent School District.
Well, thank you so much from, with Target. We really appreciate you, your folks stepping up to the plate to help out, both, financially as well as, giving you your time, because people have to understand that that's just as important as the financial aspects. And Cortland, I mean, to have 100 students out there and mobilizing, that is impressive. And I know a lot of your fellow students are going off to college and all that, but we're hoping that we'll have another good turnout from Lamar again.
Yes, we hope so.
Yeah, wonderful. Tina, is there anything else you can share from the volunteer side that we need to make sure folks know about?
Well, just to remind them that the deadline is July 20th, and to register, it's www.hisdbacktoSchoolFest.org.
Okay, and we're looking for how many folks?
We're looking for 1,000 volunteers this year.
1,000 volunteers. They'll get great T-shirts to wear, and it is truly a rewarding experience.
Yes,
and
it is, Colleen.
just to see the faces and the smiles on the kids' faces, and the parents are appreciative of all the wonderful resources, and of course getting their kids ready for a successful school year. So we're excited to work with your department, of course, Tina, and Cortland. Please keep spreading the word to the current National Honor Society president, and Kim, make sure that Target is out there in their signature red.
Definitely.
Thank you, ladies. Paper, pens, and rulers and notebooks, we need all of them. Coming up next, find out how your company can collect school supplies for the second annual Back to School Fest. In fact, here's a list of what we need. We'll be right back.